Hello, and welcome to episode 25 of D Nice Knits. My name is Denise, and you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as DNice515. I would like to thank new and returning viewers for coming back to watch me talk about yarn for about 15 to 20 minutes. Today, I have finished objects and works in progress, and that's it. I'm putting it on the internet, so I think it's going to happen. It makes it real. Me and my husband purchased a home, so next month in February, I will be moving. So I've decided that I'm not going to buy yarn. And in moving, I've gone through all my yarn, and I have about 4 bags, large space bags full of yarn. So I think I'm set for at least a year. Last year I think the last time I purchased yarn was in October. And last year I said I wasn't going to buy yarn, and then AC Moore closed and I purchased a whole bunch of yarn. Because most of the yarn that I went through was either sock yarn, which is duh, and acrylic yarn that I bought from AC Moore when it was closing. So I think I'm set for at least a year. And so new year, same me. I'm going to put forth for real this time that I'm not going to buy yarn. Let us pray. I'm going to start where I always start, and that's finished objects and socks. So I have 2 pairs of socks that I finished as gifts, and I will put pictures here and here. For my mother, the first one is my mom's. I knit her a pair of socks using yarn that I have no idea what the name is, but I'll put it here. I think I bought this yarn from Little Knits, which is a yarn shop in Seattle, which I don't know if they're open anymore, but I'll put their website here. And sometimes they have a really good sale on yarn. So I got 10 skeins of yarn for $50, I think it was, and I'm working through that. I think I bought that 2 years ago. And then the second pair of socks I knit, which are these, were for my best friend's husband, Eric. His birthday is January 9th, so I made him a pair. My mom's birthday is January 7th, so I made my mom a pair. I may not be knitting as many socks because I'm not doing my, I say that when I have 3 pairs of socks done, but I may not be knitting as many socks because I'm not doing my Christmas year of socks anymore. But I still probably will knit 1 pair of socks a year because that's my travel, a month, sorry, because that's like my travel knitting. If I'm going somewhere, it fits in my purse really easily. So those are those 2 pairs of socks that I finished. My mom's socks are my original pattern or formula, which is on pairs, which I'll show you. And then my best friend's husband's socks is on Patons Kroy, because that really seems to work well with men because they just wash and dry it in the washing machine. They don't really take care of it as much as a woman usually do. So his socks are on a US 2.75, and I use 60 stitches, and I do a mistake rib, or what is that what it's called? You do a ribbing. So I did 3 knits, 1 purl, and then the next round I do all knit. So I think that's called a mistake rib, a broken rib pattern. I do that all the time when I do a rib pattern on socks because I feel like I knit faster than I purl, which I'll talk about soon. Then my third pair of finished socks is from Sarah. And it was a kit by madebysarah.net, I think. I'm going to shout her out here, put her podcast there. No, her website right here. And she makes beautiful project bags and kits for Christmas. So this is an unconventional Christmas colorway, which I finished, and I have not worn in the ends. But finally, Sarah has a tutorial, and I'll post it below. I'm sure she's fine with me posting her tutorial below. But on how to weave in ends as you go. And I tried it last time she had, or the first kit that I had from her, I tried it and I did not do well. And then also Stephen West has almost the same, I think it's the same pattern? No. Tip on how to weave in ends as you go. And I finally figured it out for this one. So on a lot of these, I don't have to sew in the ends because I weaved as I went. And these stitch markers I do every 10 rounds so I can count. And then I have more here. And I think that's it. So I do all my socks on a US 1.5, a 2.5 millimeter needles. And I do, here we go, every time. Judy's Magic cast on, up, and then I increase to 60 stitches. And then I do 65 rounds of Fish Lips Kiss Heel. And then I think this one I did the pattern that she put. But in her pattern, she has 8 rows for each color, and I did 10 just so I could get 65 nicely here. And then I did 12 rounds of ribbing, and then Jenny's surprisingly stretchy bind off on a US 5, which I do on all my socks. So that's my original formula, and my mom has similar socks to me. I think her similar feet to me, but her ankles are narrower than mine. So I think for my mom's socks, when I do her cuff, her leg, the leg, I go down to 56 on my mom, I think, because her ankles are thinner. So that's that pair of socks, and that's all the finished objects I have. I have a few socks that are almost done. So we'll move on to my next pair of socks, which is also from Sarah. Hi, Sarah. And these are the Holidays colorway in Cascade Heritage Waves. So this one, it goes from green to red, and then the second pair just stayed all red, which I'm okay with. They're sisters. They kind of match, kind of not, but I like them anyway. And I did not finish this pair. I just have to do the cast off and weave in the ends and take off all of these. Once again, are every 10 rounds. And then I just have a pretty snowflake there. And on this one, I had a stocking. I'm gonna be sad to put away like my Christmas stitch markers because I don't need them anymore. And the next pair of socks, oh, I have one sock done for my husband, because last year I noticed that I didn't give him a pair of socks. Usually I give him a pair of socks on his birthday, but I didn't this year. I don't know why. Last year, 2020. So I started a pair for him because he wears his socks when it's cold and when he shovels. Mostly when he shovels, he wears these because he runs warm, so he doesn't always. So my husband, I usually do Patons Kroy, although this year I have a pair that I want to make him on not Patons Kroy, so I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll figure that out when I get there. But on his, I do 64 rounds because he has like wider feet than me. So I do 2.75 needle on Patons Kroy, and I did 64 stitches for my husband, and then 68 rounds, and then the Fish Lips Castile, and then I did 60 rounds, and then I'll do 12 of ribbing. I think I have like 10 rounds of ribbing here. So that's it for my husband's sock. And then I have a hat that I started, I think, in February or something. I don't even remember when I started these, but I know that I had Katrinkle's stitch markers on it, which is this one. This came from her advent calendar in 2019. So it's a hat, obviously. So I have it on my hat. And this yarn is leftovers from socks that I made in March. So I must have started this in March or April. I think April, because I like the pattern, the color so much that I wanted to make a hat. So the hat's almost done. I already started decreasing. That's what all the stitch markers are for. That's where I just decrease. And I think I use the numbers from the sock head hat, but I obviously didn't do the 4 inches of ribbing at the bottom, but I think I did the numbers. And this is on a US 3. I don't know exactly what the pattern calls for, but I just do it on 3 because I like the fabric that I got. And I think I did 12 rounds of ribbing because me and ribbing, which I'm going to talk about right now. So my coworker is going through a lot around Thanksgiving. Her daughter got sick and is still not doing well. So last year, in 2019, I knit my coworker a hat, a bun hat, yes. And I noticed that it stretched out a lot. So this is the messy bun hat. I'll put the pattern here because I don't remember it. So for that, you do a regular, so easy. And then you just bind off here instead, so you don't go all the way. You just leave a hole for her ponytail. And it was really popular in 2019, and she wanted to buy one, and I was like, I can make you that really easily. So, but I noticed she wore it 2 weeks ago, and I noticed it stretched out a lot. So I made one on size 6 instead of a size 8. And this yarn I have is from Michaels. Her favorite color is peach, and I didn't have peach yarn at the time. So I do now, but at the time I didn't. So this is Michaels Never Enough. And it's from Michaels. And I don't like the way that in the colorway is peach. And I don't like the way this feels compared to the AC Moore yarn, but it's peach and she likes peach. So I did that. And then with the leftovers, because there's a lot left over, as you can see, it was 14 ounces of yarn, which is a lot of yarn. I am making a fisherman's rib scarf for her on US 8 It's just the Fisherman's Rib pattern, which I'll link below. So I don't purl. Yes, I don't purl as fast as I knit. And I also don't knit as fast when I'm knitting in the round. You're just going. But when you knit a scarf, you know, you have to flip it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So obviously I'm not knitting this as fast as I would like to. And I actually put, like, how long, I had to put a stitch marker on it, and this is a donut stitch marker on it. So it helps motivate me that I've actually made, like, progress on a night at work, and I can't work on it when she's at work because she'll see it. So this was just one night of work. So I put this here to here because I knew I was going to show that that's like 4 hours worth of knitting. That's not, and usually on a weekend at work I can knit one sock in 4 days usually. So I'm a little disheartened, but I also love it. And I want to do it again, I think. And sometimes, like, I'll just take it out and stare at it because I love the way it looks so much. It's so nice. And this is, what is it called? The poor man's brioche. So it's just broken rib. It's really easy. It's like a knit in the bottom, knit in the stitch below, and then purl. But it makes a really pretty pattern. So that's that. And then my last work in progress. Wow, that's all I really have to talk about. My last work in progress might take me longer. It is a blanket, a corner-to-corner blanket. I really want to get this finished because I'm using 10 skeins of what? What am I using again? Oh yes, the AC Moore yarn that I've been talking about. So I'm using 10 skeins of Nicole's Studio and 10 different colors. Nicole's Studio Studio Classic by Nicole, which is AC Moore yarn, in 10 different colors. So I started with the yellow, and then, I don't know, this like cream color. Nope, that's not cream. Mint. A pink, a teal, a red, a green, a blue, and then this is like a, I don't know, a salmon color. It's really pretty. And then I'm going to do purple, I think, and then a lighter blue, and then a darker green. Just to use. This, I just realized that the green and the red together kind of look Christmassy. But whatever, it's so many stitches. So I have made progress. How many colors is that? I think the last time I showed, I was on the green. I think so. And now I did 10 of the blue, and then the salmon color is almost at 10. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you can see how it goes. Like you do. The only thing, I really love the way it's coming out. But the only thing I don't like is I have such yarn tangles here. And I only have a little bit left of the yellow. So I'm nervous that I'm not going to finish because I have already gone to the other side and I have 2 corners now. So I just need enough yarn to end this up, you know, finish the 10 on this side. So each color will only have 2 ends to weave in, which if you haven't noticed, that's my thing. So this end, and then I'll have this end over here to weave in. So that's pretty cool. So I'll only have like 20 ends. So as you go, you know, each color will end. And then when I get to the 10th color, yes, when I get to the 10th color, I'll end that corner, but I haven't gotten there yet. So it's gonna be about, I think, 48 inches by 70, 48 by 60, or 48 by 70 inches, which is good for a couch, or I don't know yet, but it'll be done, and that will be a lot of yarn out of my stash and into finished projects. And then I was going to use the scraps left over from all 3 of my other, I'm going to put them, my other corner-to-corner blankets. And I did a Christmas one. I'm going to use the scraps from that and do another crocheted blanket from the scraps from all of these 3 and whatever other Nicole's Studio I have left, which is quite a bit. So with all those, I want to do a scrappy blanket, but I don't know exactly what yet because I hate weaving in ends. So we'll see how that goes. But that is really all I have, I think. Yes, no new acquisitions, nothing else to talk about. Oh, future knitting. So for my future knitting, I'm going to finish my husband's pair of socks and then start a pair of socks for me, I think, or maybe for my grandmother-in-law, because her birthday's in October, but I might want to get like Christmas knitting out of the way and birthday out of the way now. and finish this blanket. I hope by the next time I podcast, which I hope will be in February, but probably won't be because I'm moving in the middle of February. I hope to finish this. So hopefully next time I'll show you this. And that's all. So thanks for watching. Bye.